Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a live broadcast of It's a Wonderful Life on WJOL 1340. I'm your host, Freddie Fillmore. Before we would begin, I would like to introduce to you Brian Foster, General Manager of Alpha Media.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Foster, General Manager here at Alpha Media. It is my pleasure to welcome to you It's a Wonderful Life, our 15th year edition. And, the day after last year, through 14 years, we're planning a 15th year, a big show. This isn't quite what we had in mind. This has been quite a year, and, it's really appropriate that I think we all pause and watch this wonderful story about a man who's tested and sees what his life is if he wasn't included in it. And he learns the wonderfulness of just being present in his life. What a wonderful story for the times that we're facing today. We've been through a lot of adversity. We lost Clarence this year. We have a new one ready to go. We've had challenges both personally and professionally. But from day one, the Rialto staff, the Alpha Media staff said, there's no way we're not going to bring you a show. So it looks different tonight. On stage, really, we have the organ and we have the sound effects, but you're going to be hearing from people all around the country chiming in once again to bring you a story as timeless as the ages. So sit back and enjoy yourself. And please, tonight, we need you to consider a donation to help with the Rialto. Usually by now, you would have paid $10 to get in and come see the show. This year, there is no audience, so we really need you to donate. RialtoSquare.com. Please go today, donate $10, $20. This has always been a fundraiser, and we really, really need to dig deep tonight and help out. So without further ado, on with the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. And since we're not able to meet live, you're encouraged to react at home just as you would as if you were in the audience at the theater. So don't be shy. Feel free to applaud and laugh, swoon, cry just as loudly as the spirit moves you. And now, live from the stage of the magnificent Rialto Square Theater and the stages of homes all around our community, we bring you It's a Wonderful Life.
Dear God, please look over my husband, George.
George is a good boy, you know that. My son has always gone out of his way to give others a hand. Now it's him who needs the help.
Help my big brother, George. He's done so much for all of us. More for me than I remember.
I remember all the times he would stay late after work and not ask a cent. The world needs more like George Bailey.
George Bailey never thinks about himself. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for him.
If it weren't for him, I would have given up long ago. All I think about is myself. I must have taken the last cent he had.
He had no sense of business, that George Bailey, just like his father. None of the Baileys were ever businessmen. It's his own fault if he wasn't prepared for times like these.
At times like these, I can't help to think that it's all my fault. Help him, Father. It's me who's putting him through all this.
Something's the matter with Daddy.
Should we pray for him, Mommy?
Yes, Suzu, pray. Pray very hard.
The voices carry heavenward, and Joseph, the superintendent of angels, summons Clarence, an apprentice angel.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Clarence. A man down on Earth needs our help.
Well, splendid. Is he sick?
No. Worse. He's discouraged. At exactly 10:45 p.m. tonight, Earth time, that man will be thinking seriously of throwing away God's greatest gift.
Dear, oh, his life. Then I only have 1 hour to dress. What are they wearing now?
You will spend that hour getting acquainted with George Bailey.
Sir, if I should accomplish this mission, might I perhaps earn my wings? I've been waiting over 200 years now, and people are beginning to talk.
What's that book you've got there?
Oh, this book? This is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, sir. I was reading it when you sent for me.
Oh, a fine book. Excellent. Well, you do a good job with George Bailey, and we'll see about your wings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, if you're going to help George, you'll want to know a little something about him. Look, see the town?
Why, yes, a group of boys sliding down a snow-covered hill and onto the ice. Well, this is amazing. Yippee! Who's that?
Well, that's him. He was 12 back in 1919. Something happens here you'll have to remember later on.
And here comes the scare baby, my kid brother, Harry Bailey.
Hey, I'm not scared.
Come on, Harry.
Here we go. Yippee! Oh, no. Help! Help! Help!
Oh dear, Harry's falling through the ice.
Help! Help!
I'm coming, Harry. Make a change, gang. A change.
Oh, so his brother fell through the ice, but George saved him.
Yes, Clarence, and ever since, George has had a bad ear. All that icy water, you understand.
Bad ear, yes, sir.
The other event came a few months later on. George took an after-school job at Old Man Gower's drugstore.
It's me, Mr. Gower. George Bailey.
You're late.
Yes, sir.
Hello, George. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Violet.
2 cents worth of shoelaces, Violet?
Well, Mary was here first.
Well, I'm still thinking.
Shoelaces?
Please, Georgie. I like you.
You like every boy.
What's wrong with that?
Here you are.
Bye, Georgie.
Later. Made up your mind yet, Mary?
I'll take chocolate.
With coconuts?
Well, I don't like coconuts.
You don't like coconuts? Say, brainless, don't you know where coconuts come from? Look at here. From Tahiti, the Fiji Islands, the Coral Sea.
What's that you've got there? A new magazine? I never saw it before.
Of course you never. Only us explorers can get it. I've been nominated for membership in the National Geographic Society. Get your ice cream.
Is this the ear you can't hear on? George Bailey, I'll love you till the day I die.
I'm going out exploring someday. You watch. And I'm going to have a couple of harems and maybe 3 or 4 wives. Wait and see.
George! George!
Yes, sir?
You're not paid to be a canary.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, George.
Goodbye, Mary.
What was that piece of paper George just picked up?
It's a telegram from Mr. Gower. He found out this morning that his son died of influenza.
How awful.
Yes, and he spent the afternoon drowning his grief in whiskey.
Mr. Gower, do you want something? Anything?
No.
Anything I can do back here?
No.
I'll get them, sir. What's this bottle, Mr. Gower?
Never mind that. Take those capsules over to Ms. Blaine's.
Yes, sir. They have the diphtheria there, haven't they, sir? Is it a charge, sir?
Yes, charge.
Mr. Gower, I think...
Oh, get going.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gower.
What is it?
Mr. Gower, that bottle you used, you put something wrong in those capsules.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you're hurting my sore ear.
Did you hear what I said? Get out of here.
Mr. Gower, you don't know what you did. You put something wrong in those capsules. I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram and you're upset. It wasn't your fault, Mr. Gower. But look, Mr. Gower, look. This bottle you used to make up the capsules, it's poison.
Poison?
Oh, don't hit my sore ear again.
Poison? Oh, George. George.
All I want to do is make sure, Mr. Gower. I won't tell anyone. I know what you're feeling. I won't ever tell a soul. Hope to die I won't.
Oh, George.
Well, Joseph, did he ever tell anyone about those pills?
Not a soul.
Did he ever marry the girl Did he ever go exploring?
We'll get to that soon enough, Clarence. When George Bailey grew up, he wanted to go to college. There just wasn't the money. So he worked 4 years in the Building and Loan Association.
Building and Loan Association.
George's father was in the building and loan business, along with George's uncle, Billy.
George, what's the combination to the safe?
We wrote it down so you wouldn't forget.
Oh, that's right. Where?
Your wallet, Uncle Billy.
Oh, thanks, George.
Lovable fellow, just forgetful is all.
Who's that?
That's Henry F. Potter, the richest and meanest man in the county.
Peter, Potter's here.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey, Mr. Bailey. There's nothing quite so loathsome as a family business. Now, Peter, you know what I'm here for. I'm on a very tight schedule. A family to evict at 3.
Okay, then, Mr. Potter. Here's the thing. I just need a little more time. Just 30 short days. I'll dig up that 5,000 somehow.
You have to put any real pressure on those people of yours to pay their mortgages?
Times are hard, Mr. Potter. A lot of people are out of work.
Then foreclose.
I can't do that. These families have children.
They're not my children.
But they're somebody's children, Mr. Potter.
Are you running a business or a charity ward?
Well, all right.
Not with my money.
Mr. Potter, what makes you such a hard-skulled character? You have no family, no children. You can't begin to spend all the money you've got.
So I suppose I should give it to the miserable failures like you and that idiot brother of yours to spend for me?
He's not a failure. You can't say that about my father.
George.
You're not. You're the biggest man in town.
All right, son. Thanks. I'll talk to you tonight.
Don't let him say that about you, Pop.
Tonight.
What kind of business are you running here? Good God, man. George worked for his father's, saving enough money to see him through the university. That summer, though, he was going to Europe. George got a job on a cattle boat and was ready to do a little traveling before college. Old man Gower surprised him with the gift of a great big suitcase. On his way home from the store, he ran into his friend Ernie, the cab driver, and Bert, the cop.
Hey, Ernie.
Hey, George.
Oh, hi, Bert.
Hey, George, what's the suitcase for?
I'm a rich tourist today. How about driving me home in style?
Sure, Your Highness. Hop in the cab, and for the carriage trade, I puts on my hat.
Look, it's Violet.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Bailey. Looks like you're ready to get out of here.
Hello, Violet. Hey, you look good. That's some dress you got on there.
Oh, this old thing? Why, I only wear it when I don't care how I look. See you later.
How would you like...
Yes.
Want to come along, Bert? We'll show you the town.
No thanks. I think I'll go home and we'll see what the wife's doing.
Family man.
Nailed it.
George saved up money to go away to college. His bags were packed, and he was all set to go.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's hard to realize it's the last night in the Bailey boarding house. I love this house.
We're sure going to miss you, George.
I'm going to miss you too, Papa. What's the matter? You look tired.
Oh, I had another tussle with old Henry Potter today.
Oh?
I thought when we put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us.
I wonder what's eating that old money-grubbing buzzard anyway.
Oh, he's a sick man, frustrated and sick. Sick in his mind, sick in his soul, if he has one. Hates everybody that has anything he can't have. Hates us mostly, I guess.
Hey, George, can I borrow those tuxedo studs?
Yeah, help yourself, Harry.
Oh, where are they? Are they in the suitcase here?
Not taking a tuxedo on a cattle boat, don't you know?
Hey, say, where'd you get such a fine piece of luggage anyway?
Mr. Gower, a going away present. And one of these days, you're going to see that bag all covered with travel labels. Italy, Baghdad.
Well, sounds like a lot of fun. Why don't you come to the dance tonight?
What, and be bored to death?
Well, I couldn't want a better death. Lots of pretty girls. Hey, I gotta hurry.
I wish we could send Harry to college with you, George.
Well, we have that all figured out. You see, Harry will take my job at the building and loan, work there 4 years, and then he'll go.
He's pretty young for that job. Well, what do you want to do, George?
Oh, well, you know, what I've always talked about, building things, design new buildings, plan modern cities.
Still after that first million before you're 30?
No, I'll settle for half that in cash.
Of course, it's just a hope, but you wouldn't consider coming back to the building and loan, would you? I know it's early to talk about it.
Oh, I couldn't face being cooped up for the rest of my life in that shabby little office. I'm sorry about that, Pop. I didn't mean that remark. But this business of nickels and dimes and spending all your life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I'd go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
You know, George, I feel that in a small way we are doing something important, satisfying a fundamental urge. It's not too much for a man to want his own roof and walls and fireplace, and we're helping him get those things in our shabby little office.
I know, Dad. I wish I felt, but I've been hoarding pennies like a miser in order to... Most of my friends have already finished college. I just feel like if I didn't get away, I'd bust.
Yes, you're right, boy. This town's no place to live if you aren't willing to crawl to Potter. You get yourself an education, then get out of here.
I'm glad you see what I'm talking about. Say, I think I'm going to go to down old Main Street, last night in town and all.
Have a good time, son.
Joseph, now who's that?
Why, that is Violet Bick.
The little girl from the candy counter?
That's right.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Vi.
Oh, what gives?
Nothing.
Where are you going?
Oh, I'll probably end up down at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes. Say, what are you doing tonight, Vi?
Oh, not a thing.
Are you game, Vi? What do you say we make a night of it?
Oh, I'd love to, Georgie. What'll we do?
Let's go out in the fields and take off our shoes and walk in the grass.
Huh? What?
Then we can go up to Stewart Lake. It's beautiful up there in the moonlight, and we can swim. Then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks. And we'll stay up there the whole night, and everybody will be talking, and there will be a terrific scandal.
Hey, George, have you gone crazy? Walking the grass in my bare feet. Why, it's 10 miles up there to Mount Bedford. You think just because you... Oh.
Okay, let's just forget about the whole thing. Oh, hey, Sam. Mary.
Forget about what, George?
Oh, nothing, Mary. So where are you coming from?
Oh, I'm just out for the evening, coming from the library.
Oh.
Would you mind walking me home?
That's all right. Sure. Of course not. Is that okay with you?
Fine by me.
So Joseph, George walked Mary home, and is that important?
I'd say it is, because even though Mary lived only 4 blocks away, it took them 2 hours to get there.
Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Oh, hot dog. Oh, boy. Just like an organ. Gee whiz.
Beautiful.
You know something? If it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will. How old are you anyway?
18.
18?
Too young or too old?
Oh, no, just right. Your age fits you. Hey, look where we are.
The old Granville house.
Yeah, I gotta throw a rock.
Oh, no, don't. I love that old house.
Well, now, don't you know about deserted houses? You make a wish, and then you throw a rock.
But, George, it's such a lovely old place. I'd like to live in it.
In there? Well, I wouldn't live in there if I was a ghost. Now watch this. Ooh. How about it, huh? Pretty good shot, huh? Broke a window, huh?
Well, what'd you wish, George?
Well, not one wish. A whole hatful, Mary. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm going to come back here and go to college and see what they know. And then I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields. I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high. And then I'm going to build... Hey, you going to throw a rock? Hey, that's pretty good. What'd you wish for, Mary?
Oh, no. If I told you, it might not come true.
Hey, come on, Mary. What do you want, huh? Do you want the moon? All you got to do is say the word now.
Okay, the moon. I'll take it. And then what?
Then what? Well, throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Then you could swallow it, and it would all dissolve, see? And the moonbeams, they'd shoot out your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. And am I talking too much?
Yes. Why don't you kiss her instead of talking to her to death?
What's that?
Old man Collins on his front porch.
Youth is wasted on the wrong people.
Hey, hold on. Come back here, mister. I'll show you some kissing that'll put hair back on your head. Come on back out here. Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy. What is it? Oh, no. Something's happened to my father. I've got to go, Mary.
You're listening to It's a Wonderful Life on 1340 WJOL Joliet. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show. So we're off to a great start, right? We're about a third of the way in, and so far the donations are pouring in. We want to thank Danielle and Sandra each for donating $50 and the donate button right there. Now, if you're listening on radio at 1340 AM, all you need to do is go to rialtosquare.com. If you're visiting one of our social media streams and you're watching us online, just look right down there or over there in the social media thread. There's a link. We're already hundreds of dollars have donated, but we need to challenge you guys, okay? Tonight, we got to raise some money for the Rialto. They have been shuttered all year. And I know we talked about supporting local businesses. It's been wonderful to hear at the radio station how many people want to help local restaurants. They want to help the car dealers, and all these are great. Without these wonderful car dealers and restaurants and everything else, we have no community. But guys, I promise you, you don't want to lose the Jewel of Joliet. You don't want to lose live theater in Joliet. You don't want to miss out on the next Seinfeld, the next Larry the Cable Guy. the next Kenny Rogers, Taylor Swift, all of them have been on the stage and we're going to lose it. Okay? We need your help because the arts have to stay vibrant, and without consistently donating to the Rialto, it becomes in jeopardy, it becomes in danger. They've had no shows this year to speak of. So please, 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 right now, click on the link. I know, I've been thinking about it. Someone's got $1,000 they want to donate tonight, right now. And if you do it, not only are we going to thank you all night long and make you look awesome, we're going to give you $1,000 in free radio ads to offset that money. Now, if you don't own a business, you can donate it back to the Rialto, to one of these restaurants you guys are all wanting to help out. Please, somebody has $1,000 they want to throw down right now and say, we're going to keep the live arts vibrant and exciting, and we're going to keep this beautiful facility open. Almost over 90 years. Things have come, things have gone. One thing has been consistent. The arts are alive and well in the city of Joliet, and it's because of the Rialto. So, we're going to see you here a little bit later, but please dig deep right now. $20 if you can. I know somebody wants to donate $1,000. I feel it right here. I feel it. I can even see the name. Starts with, we'll tell you next time. Donate big, donate often. Please click on the link, help us out. Now, without further ado, Santa's little elf.
Dear Darcy Buick GMC, one of Santa's elves here, and let's just leave it at that, okay? This request has to stay between us. Thing is, the big man needs a set of wheels, and I hear you are the folks to see about that. You've been selling GMCs for nearly 30 years and scooping up prestigious awards all along the way. I don't want this getting back to our team of reindeer, but the trips from the workshop to the Candy Castle are awfully cold sometimes. And between you and I, Santa could do with a little style. I'm looking at the all-new 2021 GMC Yukon on DarcyBuickGMC.com. With all that space, Santa, our tools, and just about my whole crew could fit in there. Let's talk. Sincerely, a little guy with a big wish. P.S. We'll call it a Yulcon.
At Window World of Joliet, they trust their windows so much that they'll guarantee them for life. Seriously, buy your windows from Window World once, and you will never have to buy windows again. They'll cover any damage, including labor, as long as you own your home. So whether your home is at 320 Sycamore in Bedford Falls or right here in the greater Joliet area, get your windows for life. A wonderful life. From Window World of Joliet. Window World, simply the best for less.
Welcome back, live from the beautiful Rialto Fair Theater. It's A Wonderful Life on 1340 WJOL Joliet.
George's father died that night, Clarence, so of course, George couldn't go to Europe. But that fall, just as he was ready to leave for college, the directors of the building and loan held a meeting. They were going to appoint a successor.
I want the board to know that George gave up his trip to Europe to help straighten things out these past few months, and it was greatly appreciated. I think that's all we'll need from you, George. Good luck at school. I know you're anxious to make a train.
Yes, I have a taxi waiting downstairs.
Mr. Chairman, now I'd like to get to my real purpose. I claim this institution is not necessary to this town. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to dissolve the building and loan and turn its assets and receivers over to the receiver.
It's too soon after Peter Bailey's death to discuss chloroforming the building and loan. It was his faith and devotion that are responsible for this organization.
I'll go further than that. I'll say that to the public, Peter Bailey was the building and loan.
Oh, that's fine, Potter. Coming from you, considering that you probably drove him to the grave.
Peter Bailey was not a businessman. That's what killed him. Well, I don't mean any disrespect to him. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called, but ideals without common sense can ruin this town. And what does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey stir their heads up with a lot of phooey. Now I say...
Just a minute. Now hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character. because his whole life was, why, in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started this thing, he never once thought of himself. Isn't that right, Uncle Billy?
Yeah, you got that right.
He didn't save enough money to send Harry to school, let alone me. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Why, here, you're all businessmen here. Doesn't it make them better citizens? Doesn't it make them better customers? What did you say a minute ago? They had to wait and save their money before they even ought to think of a decent home? Wait for what? Until their children grow up and leave them? Until they're so old and broken down that do you know how long it takes a working man to save $5,000? Just remember this, Mr. Potter, that this rabble you're talking about, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to ask to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? Anyway, my father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, he died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not talking about your book. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. Well, I've said too much. You guys do what you want to do with this thing. Just one more thing, though. This town needs this measly one-horse institution, only to have some place where people can come without calling to Potter. Come on, Uncle Billy.
Sentimental hogwash. I want my motion carried.
They're just coming out of the board meeting. I'll have to call you back. What happened, George? All we heard was a lot of yelling.
Oh boy, Matilda, you should have heard George in there.
Yeah, they're voting us down in there.
Oh, you missed your boat trip. Do you want to miss college too? Don't worry about the board. They're putting us out of business. So what? I can get another job. I'm only 55.
You're 58.
Who's going to go over there? We're going to have to get this. Who's going to? George, I really don't know what's going on.
George, they voted down Potter. We're still in business.
Whoopee! We're still in business.
But there's one condition, George. They've appointed you to take your father's place.
Appoint me? But I'm going to college. Uncle Billy here, he's your man.
You can keep him on. That's all right.
Now let's get this thing straight. I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to school. This is my last chance.
But George, you've got to take it. They'll vote for Potter otherwise.
So, Joseph, just to be clear, George Bailey didn't go to college?
No, that's right. He gave his college money to his brother, Harry, and Harry went instead.
But what happened to that good-looking girl? You know, Mary.
Oh, George saw her now and then, not very often, though, because Mary went away to school, too. Anyway, George waited 4 more years for Harry to come back and take over the building and loan. Then he could still see the world. He planned to work in the oil fields of Venezuela.
There she blows. Say, Uncle Billy, you know what the 3 most wonderful sounds on earth are?
Our breakfast is served, lunch is served, dinner is served.
Oh, no. Anchor chains, plane motors, and train whistles. Here's the professor now.
Well, if it isn't George Geographic Explorer Bailey. Uncle Billy, you haven't changed a bit.
Oh, nobody ever changes around here. You know that.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
Oh, good to see you too, George. Hey, where's Mom?
Oh, she's at home cooking the fatted calf.
Oh, wait. I'd like to introduce you to the beautiful and talented Ruth Dakin.
Ruth Dakin Bailey, if you don't mind.
What?
Well, I wired you. I had a surprise. Here she is. Meet the wife.
Well, what do you know? Wife.
Well, how do you do? What am I doing? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Harry, why didn't you tell somebody? What's a pretty girl like you doing marrying this 2-headed brother of mine?
Well, I'll tell you, it's purely mercenary. My father had offered him a job.
Oh, so he gets you and a job? Oh, Harry's cup runneth over. Come on, Ruth. Let's start ahead of them and get the bags before the fellas.
All right.
Hey, George, real quick about that job. Ruth, she spoke out of turn. I never said I'd take it. You've been holding the bag around here for years. And, well, I won't let you down.
It's all right, Harry. It's all right.
That night, the homecoming for Harry became his wedding party. Uncle Billy familiarized himself with the spirits.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I feel so good. I could spit in Potter's eye. You know what? I think I will. What do you say? Maybe I should go home. Just point me in the right direction, Georgie boy.
Right down there.
That way, huh? Okay. All right, old building alone, buddy. I'll see you later. I'm all right. I'm all right.
George! Yeah, I'm out on the porch, Mother. Just thought I'd get some air.
Well, how do you like the new sister-in-law?
She's swell.
Looks like she'll keep Harry on his toes.
Yeah, keep him out of Bedford Falls anyway.
George, do you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Yeah.
Nice girl, Mary.
Uh-huh.
Oh, stop grumbling. Give me one good reason you shouldn't call on Mary.
Well, Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about her.
Well, she's crazy about him.
Well, now how do you know that? Did she discuss it with you?
Besides, Sam in New York, and you're right here in Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war.
Well, I don't know about war.
All right, Mother. I think I'll go out and find the girl and do a little passionate necking.
Oh, George.
Bye, Mrs. Bailey. By the way, do you want any books from the library?
Library? George, you go see Mary, you hear?
Hello, George.
Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Your mother just phoned and said you were on your way over to pay me a visit.
My mother just called you? How did she know?
Well, didn't you tell her?
Well, I didn't tell anybody. I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by. What do you... Went for a walk, that's all. When did you get back?
Tuesday. Would you like to come in?
Well, I guess, since I'm here. Say, where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
Oh, it's all right. I thought you'd go back to New York, like with Sam and Francie and the rest of them.
I worked there a couple of vacations, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Well, yes. And my family and everything. Would you like to sit down?
All right, for a minute. Still can't understand it, though. You know, I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here.
Would you rather leave?
No, I don't want to be rude.
It was nice about Harry and Ruth, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Don't you like her?
Well, of course I like her. She's a peach.
It's just marriage in general you're not enthusiastic about, huh?
No, marriage is okay for Harry and Sam Wainwright and you.
Mary! Mary! Who's out there with you? It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
Well, I don't know. What do you want, George?
Me? Not a thing. I just came in to get warm.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Oh, you tell him to go right back home. And don't you leave the house. Sam Wainwright promised to call from New York tonight, didn't he?
Your mother needn't. I didn't come here to.
What did you come here for?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. You're supposed to be the one who has all the answers. You tell me.
Oh, why don't you go home?
That's where I'm going. I don't know why I came here in the first place.
Mary! Mary, the telephone! It's Sam!
I'll get it. Hee-haw! Hello, Sam. How are you?
Gee, it's good to hear your voice again, baby.
Oh, well, that's awfully sweet of you, Sam. There's an old friend of yours here, George Bailey.
Oh, you mean old Mossback George?
Yes, old Mossback George.
Hee-haw, put him on.
Wait a minute, I'll call him. George!
He doesn't want to speak to George, you idiot.
He does so. He asked for him. George, Sam wants to speak to you.
Hello, Sam.
Hey, fine pal you are. What are you trying to do? Steal my gal?
What do you mean? Nobody's trying to steal your girl.
No. Wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension.
No, I'm not.
We can both hear you. Just bring your head a little closer, George.
Okay.
There, that's better. We're listening, Sam.
All right, now listen up. I got a big deal coming up that's going to make all of us rich. George, do you remember that night at Martini's bar when you told me about making plastics out of soybeans?
Uh-huh. Yeah, soybeans. Yeah.
Well, take a listen to this. My father checked into it, George, and see, he's now going to build a factory outside Rochester. A factory outside Rochester. How do you like that?
Rochester? Well, why Rochester?
Well, why not? Can you think of anything better?
Oh, I don't know. Why not that right here in Bedford Falls? You remember that old tool and machinery works? You tell your father he can get that for a song. And all the labor he wants, too. The whole town was thrown out of work when that closed down.
That's so. Well, you know what? I'll tell him. Hey, that sounds great. Oh, baby, I knew you'd come through. Now, here's the point, George. I may have a job for you, unless you're still married to that old broken down building and loan. Oh, and Mary.
I'm here.
You tell that guy I am giving him the chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Give me that phone. Now you listen to me. I don't want any plastics. I don't want any job. I don't want to get married ever to anyone. Do you understand that? I want to do what I want to do. And you're not going to. Oh, Mary, I love you.
I love you too, George.
The 1340 J.O.L. Joliet's presentation of It's a Wonderful Life in just a few moments. But first, gentlemen, does your hair resemble a dried out bird's nest full of dandruff flakes? Do you plaster your hair down like a cheap gigolo smelling to high heaven? When the girls get a gander of the tip top of your noggin, do they go? Well, here's a friendly hint. It just may help you out in the romance department. Starting tomorrow, why not try Bremel Hair Tonic? Yes, sirree. You'll be heading for success with Bremel groomed hair. A success with the gals and on the job. Bremel always keeps hair looking mighty attractive. Always in place, a real sex appealer. Bremel Hair Tonic does lots more than keep your hair handsome looking.
Not only will things love it,
Buy some Bremel today. Your hair will thank you. And now, back to
George and Mary were married, and following the wedding and reception, George's old pal Ernie, the cab driver, drove the happy couple to the train station.
Hey, where are you two going on this here new honeymoon?
We're going to shoot the works, Ernie. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music, and the prettiest wife.
Well, here's the kitty, Ernie. $2,000. I feel like a bootlegger's wife.
So you're finally getting out of Bedford Falls, huh? Then what?
Then what, honey?
After that, who cares?
Oh, that does it. Hey, Mrs. Bailey, I haven't kissed you since...
Hey, George, there's something funny going on over there. Look over there at the bank. It looks like a run.
Huh? Pull over a minute, will you, Ernie?
George, let's not stop. Please, let's go straight to the station.
No, wait a minute. I better see what it is. I'll be right back.
George, please, George.
Hey, I want my money. Hey, what's going on? Open up this place.
Uncle Billy, a holiday? Why are the doors locked? There's a crowd out front. Oh, Uncle Billy, what are we going to do with all these people? What happened? Uncle Billy.
All I know is the bank called our loan. I had to hand out all our cash.
All of it? You had to hand out all of the cash? Oh, Billy.
Every last cent.
Holy mackerel.
And then I got scared, George. I got scared. I closed the doors.
Our charter says we need to stay open until 6 o'clock, or we'll lose our license.
Bailey Brother Building and...
Get me George.
George. It's Potter.
Hello?
George, there's a rumor around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
No, it isn't.
Do you need any police? Mobs get pretty ugly sometimes, you know.
We're fine.
We'll see. Now, George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close for a week and then reopen. I may lose a fortune, but I'm willing to guarantee your people too. Just tell them to bring their shares over here, and I will pay 50 cents on the dollar.
Why, now you don't miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're going to miss this one.
If you close your doors before 6 p.m., George, you will never reopen.
He just took over the bank, Billy. Open the door. Let them in. No, just remember, this thing isn't as black as it appears. I have some news for you folks. I've just talked to Old Man Potter, and he's guaranteed cash payments at the bank.
But what about our money, George? Where's our money?
Now, please. Wait a minute. Listen to me. You're thinking of this place all wrong. The money's not here. Now, wait a minute. Let me tell you. Your money's in people's houses. It's in the Kennedy house and the McLaren house and 100 others. Now, what are you going to do? Foreclose on them?
I got $242 in this bank, and $242 isn't going to break anybody.
All right, Charlie. All right. Now, you'll get your money in 60 days.
60 days?
Well, now that's what you agreed to when you bought your shares.
I got my money. Old Man Potter's taking over the bank. He'll pay you 50 cents on every dollar.
Wait a minute. Please, folks, please. Don't leave. I beg of you not to do this. If Potter gets a hold of your shares, he'll be owning this building and loan. He's already got the bank. He's got the bus line. He's got the department stores. And now he's after us because he wants to keep you living in his shacks and paying the kind of rent he decides to charge. Now, we can get through this, but we've got to stick together. We have to have faith in each other.
Oh, but my husband, he's out of work. Money.
I've got doctor bills to pay.
I gotta feed my kids with the
How much do you need? We've still got some money. We've got $2,000 from the wedding.
Hey, Mary. Well, I've got $2,000 here. This'll tide us over until the bank reopens. All right, now, Charlie, how much do you need?
$242.
Oh, Charlie, just enough to tide you over until the bank reopens.
I'll take $242.
Okay, Uncle Billy, give Charlie $242. Okay, all right, Ed. Now, how much? Just to get by.
$20, I suppose.
Now we're talking. Now, Mrs. Thompson, how about you?
Oh, my George, it's your own money.
Never mind that. How much do you want, Mrs. Thompson?
I could have $17.50.
Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. Uncle Billy, give her $17.50. Pay it back when you can now. Pay it back when you can. All right, now, who's next?
Look at the clock, George. They'll never close us up today.
5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1.
Bingo!
Wait, oh boy, we're still in business, and we've still got $2 left.
Bailey Brothers Building and wait, I answered the phone too quick. It's ringing. Bailey Brothers Building and just a minute. George, there's a call for you.
Look, will you get my wife on the phone? She's probably over at her mother's.
Well, Mrs. Bailey is on the phone.
I don't want Mrs. Bailey. I want my wife. Oh, Mrs. Bailey. That is my wife. Mary, hello. Oh, listen, dear, I'm sorry. What? Come home? What home? 320 Sycamore? Well, whose home is that? The Waldorf Hotel?
Oh no, number 320 Sycamore was the old Granville house, the one George and Mary threw rocks at and made wishes. Mary had prepared the house, including a turkey dinner, romantic decorations, and even a marriage bed.
Welcome home, Mr. Bailey.
Well, I'll be.
Remember the night we broke the windows in this old house? This is what I wished for.
Darling, you're wonderful.
Yes, sir. That's where they spent their honeymoon. That's where they started their lives together. Mary made the leaky old house a home, while George toiled away at the building and loan office, providing houses for people like Giuseppe Martini.
Hey, Martini! You renting a new house?
Rent? Ha! You hear that, Mr. Bailey? I own this house. Me, Mr. Giuseppe Martini. I own my own home. No more do we live like pigs in that potter's field.
We have something for you and your family, Mr. Martini. George and I bring something for all the new owners.
For me, for all the Martinis? Maria, come quick! Come quick! Our first housewarming gift. Bring the kids, too.
Bread, that this house may never know hunger. Salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
Bailey houses were popping up all over the place, mostly owned by people that used to live in Potter's Field. Potter had had just about enough of that. So, after a couple of years, old man Potter decided to call on George right into his office.
Sit down, George. Sit down. Would you like a cigar?
Thank you, sir. That's quite a cigar, Mr. Potter.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but just what exactly did you want to see me about?
Well, George, that's just what I like about you so much. George, I'm an old man. Most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. And you know just as well as I do that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey Building and Loan. You know also that for a number of years, I've been trying to get control of it or kill it, but I haven't been able to do it, George. You have been stopping me. In fact, you have beaten me, and that takes some doing. Take during the Depression, for instance. You and I were the only ones that kept our heads. You saved the building and loan, and I saved the rest.
Yes, well, most people would say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones say that, George. The suckers. Now, let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week.
45.
45.
45.
Now, if you were some ordinary yokel, I would say you were doing just fine. But George Bailey is intelligent. He's ambitious. He hates the building and loan almost as much as I do. He's been dying to get out of town ever since he was born. A young man, the smartest one of the crowd, mind you, who has to sit by and watch his friends go places because he's trapped. Trapped into frittering his life away playing nursemaid to a lot of garlic eaters. Do I paint a correct picture, George, or do I exaggerate?
What's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is you're the only man in town who's licked me. I want to hire you, manage my affairs. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while to Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not talking to somebody else, are you, around here? Are you sure you're talking to me? I'm George Bailey. Do you remember the building and loan? Remember?
Yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, providing he has brains enough to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building and loan?
Oh, confound it, man. I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if you might give me 24 hours to think about it.
Sure, George. You go home and talk to your wife.
Yeah, I'd like that.
In the meantime, I'll drop the papers and soon you'll be managing my affairs.
Your affairs? No, doggone it. You sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. And that goes...
You're listening to It's a Wonderful Life on 1340 WJOL Joliet, live from the Rialto Square Theater. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Hey everybody, welcome back. What an exciting part of the show we're entering now as the play progresses, and you can see some cool things starting to develop on your screen already. We have Scott Childers doing his best little Richard with the cool blue outfit. We had Potter lose connection for a minute and just to show what went on without him. We're working hard for you guys. We have 25 actors spread all around the country. Believe it or not, Ed from that last team was actually in Nebraska. So not only are we bringing you stuff from the stage, from all different states around the country, we hope you're enjoying the show. Wow. Since the last time we spoke, this is the list. Massive, and I want to thank you guys so much. The $1,000 came in. Trisha and Steve, you guys are rock stars. They're already talking about what they're going to do with the $1,000 free as to do some great good for the community. Thank you so much. The $1,000 in. We can take a second one. Also, Craig and Kim, $200. Dennis and Mary, $100. The Lindemann family, $100. Eileen, $100. I don't want to miss any of the large contributors. Jane, $250. But guys, guess what? I'm going to end with this, a $25 donation. Why am I talking about a $25 donation? We've had all these huge donations come in. the Girl Scout 719. I'm going to thank Nicole, a local Girl Scout who gave 25 of her own dollars. She's watching this right now. How cool is that the younger generation is reaching in their pockets as well? So one of our favorite parts of the show is when Rick always gets right in the camera and my $242. So let's make that the rallying cry for this next session. Let's dig deep. Let's donate $240. That would be like buying 25 seats for the show tonight. So if you can, reach deep, $242. Donate it right now. The scroll, social media links. If you're listening on air, rialtosquare.com. Lots of different ways to get to that webpage. If the webpage is slow, be patient. A lot of donations coming in. The website slows a little bit. Be patient. Dig deep. $242. You can do it right now. I have someone special. I want to thank you for your time. But right now, it's my duty to introduce Mrs. Claus.
Hello, Darcy Buick GMC. Greetings from the North Pole. I would love to chat with you on a new vehicle for my husband, but worry he may be resistant at first. His current mode of transportation is powered not by 4 wheels, but by 8 sets of 4 legs. I adore our team of hardworking reindeer, and I would never want to offend them, but I do long for a calming drive on a snowy night with just my husband. I can just picture a GMC Sierra heavy duty, easily navigating our winter wonderland while White Christmas plays over an entertainment system. I know your dealership has a reputation of making your customers feel comfortable and providing a no-pressure sales experience. So I've made an appointment for us on DarcyBuickGMC.com. Talk soon, Mrs. Claus. P.S. We'll call it our Cheerera.
Welcome back, live from It's a Wonderful Life on 1340 WJOL.
What did Mr. Potter want, George?
Nothing. Just talk. Gee, Mary Hatch, why in the world would you ever want to marry a guy like me anyway?
To keep from being an old maid.
I was gonna see the world. I was gonna build things. I was gonna give you the moon. What have I given you? Not even a new dress. Not for months. You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
Well, I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a honeymoon. I promised you. You're what?
My baby.
You mean, Mary, you're on the nest?
George Bailey lassos stork.
Well, Mary had her baby, a boy.
You don't say.
I did. Then she had a girl.
Well, what do you know?
Night after night, George would come home late from the office. Things weren't good at the building alone. Potter was really bearing down hard. Then came the war. Mary had another baby by then, but still had time to run the USO. Gower and Uncle Billy sold war bonds. Violet entertained the troops. Bert the cop was wounded in North Africa, got the Silver Star. Ernie, the taxi driver, parachuted into France. Harry Bailey topped them all, a Navy flyer. He shot down 15 planes, 2 of them as they were about to crash into a transport full of soldiers.
Yeah, but what about George? George?
4F on account of his ear. George fought the Battle of Bedford Falls, air raid warden, paper drives, scrap drives, rubber drives. On VE Day, he wept and prayed. On VJ Day, he wept and prayed again.
We're getting pretty close to today, aren't we, sir?
Yes, Clarence. You now know almost everything you have to know about George Bailey, except what happened that finds him down there at this moment, wanting to die.
Well, sir, well,
today's the day before Christmas, and Billy is at the bank to make a deposit when he ran into Old Man Potter.
Well, Mr. Henry F. Potter. Come to the bank to deposit some more loot, eh?
Sure did, you old fool.
How do you like the news in the paper, Mr. Potter? Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Just can't keep those Bailey boys down, can ya?
Let me see that newspaper.
Here you go. Sorry, I can't chat with you now, you old thief. I've got to make a deposit.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey.
Good morning, Horace. How are you on this wonderful day? Deposit slip, bank book, and a very Merry Christmas to you.
And you too, Mr. Bailey. Say, you've forgotten something, haven't you?
What's that?
You do want to make a deposit?
Well, certainly.
Well, it's customary to bring the money with you.
Wait. It's gone. It's gone. Where did I put it? Where did I put that money?
A terrible thing, Clarence. Terrible. Uncle Billy couldn't find the money because the envelope with the $8,000 was folded up in that newspaper he gave to Old Man Potter. At the same time as Billy started looking for the deposit, Violet came to visit George at the building and loan.
Oh, hello, Vi.
Suppose you're getting things set back at the house for the party tonight.
Well, you're invited. What's wrong?
You see right through me, don't you?
How much do you need?
Oh, I hate doing this to you, George, but I won't be asking for any more after this.
You planning on robbing a bank, Vi?
No. I'm going to Manhattan.
Well, what's in Manhattan?
Why, everything is in Manhattan. A new start, at least.
Well, that's a big step, Vi. What's the matter with starting a new life right here in Bedford Falls?
Huh. Well, I'll be. Never thought I'd hear that from you, George Bailey. I thought you hated this place.
I did, but this town has a charm of its own.
You should give tours, maybe.
I'm just thinking of you, Violet. Manhattan's a big place to be on your own.
No, I've made my decision. There's a midnight train tonight, and I plan to be on it.
Takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again. Here's some dough.
Oh, no, don't, George.
Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to hawk those furs and that hat? What do you want to? Do you want to walk to New York? They charge for meals and rent up there the same as they do in Bedford Falls.
Yeah, sure.
It's a loan. That's my business. Building a loan. Besides, you'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad I know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Merry Christmas, George.
George!
What's going on? The bank examiner's coming today, and I...
Today?
Yeah, he wants the accounts payable. What's the matter with you?
The money, the 8,000.
What, Uncle Billy? What happened to it?
I don't know. I was going to deposit it, and when I went to the bank, I didn't have it.
$8,000, Uncle Billy. The bank examiner's in town, and it's not our money. It belongs to the depositors.
I'm so sorry, George. I don't know what happened.
Well, the first place you look is in your coat pocket. I told you to put it there when you left.
No, I'm no good to you, George. I'm just no good.
Let's go then. We'll have to retrace your steps. We'll leave no stone unturned.
The whole town's turned upside down with the Bailey boys' homecoming, congressional medal and all.
I guess they do things like that.
May I see your paper?
Go ahead.
This is a deposit from Bailey.
That old fool, Billy Bailey, gave me that newspaper.
Well, you're going to deposit it for him, aren't you? Right, Potter?
To think he would make such a foolish mistake. Look how much it is.
There's $8,000 in here.
What a Christmas present. And he doesn't even know it.
Just a minute here, Potter. I know you've been giving the Baileys a hard time for as long as I can remember. But why?
I don't have to give answers to you. You're just a state examiner.
Yes, I am. But I am unimpressed by your buying off everyone in town. Oh, that's it. You can never buy the Baileys.
What did you say?
You heard what I said. The Baileys have always stood for something that you've always wanted and have been jealous of. They're honest.
You're fired.
You can't fire me. I'm state appointed. And what's more, I'm not going to turn my back. This is stealing from the Baileys. Something like this would certainly cause them to fold.
Yes, and after 25 years, finders keepers, you know that. He gave me the money. It was his own fault. Besides, there's not a court in this county that would find me guilty.
Oh, and we all know why.
How's your family, Sadie?
My family.
I know how little state positions pay. What would you say to a little Christmas bonus?
I want no part of this.
That's not what I've heard.
What are you insinuating, Potter?
I will not be turned down.
So what do you want me to do?
I want you to pay the Baileys a surprise visit. You'll see the records. They'll be short. You know the rest. At last, the Baileys will be where they belong, down for good.
I know just what to do.
And did you put the envelope in your pocket?
Yeah, maybe.
Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money.
Oh, I'm no good to you, George. I'm just no good.
Do you have any secret hiding places here in the house?
I've gone over the whole house. I've gone in rooms I haven't even been in. It's been locked up since I lost your Aunt Laura.
Listen to me. Think.
I can't think anymore, George. It hurts.
Where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison. Well, one of us is going to jail. Well, it's not going to be me.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Daddy. Daddy, did you bring the wreath?
What wreath?
The Merry Christmas wreath in the window.
I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, it just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
I left them at the office.
What's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry? We are famous, George. I'll bet I had 50 calls today about parade, banquet. Your mother is so excited. She must mean that. We got to practice for the party tonight.
Mommy says we can stay up until midnight and sing Christmas carols.
Can you sing, Daddy?
Better hurry and shave, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
You have a nice day.
Oh, yeah. Have a big red letter day, the baby.
Daddy, the Browns next door have a new car. You should see it.
What's the matter with our car?
Yes, Daddy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Excuse you for what?
I burped.
All right, darling, you're excused. Now, go upstairs and see what little Zuzu wants.
What's the matter with Zuzu?
Oh, she caught a cold. She caught it coming home from school. They gave her a flower for a prize. Didn't want to crush it, but she didn't button up her coat.
What is it, sore throat?
Oh, the doctor says it's nothing serious. Nothing with you. So I told him right away.
Is she Just a teensy. This old house. I don't know why we all don't have pneumonia. This drafty old barn. I was living in a refrigerator. Why did we have to live here in the first place and stay around this crummy real town? What's wrong? Wrong? Everything's wrong. You call it the happy family? Why did we have to have all these kids?
Dad, how do you spell frankincense?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Where are you going?
Oh, Zuzu.
Hi, Daddy.
Well, what happened to you?
I want a flower.
Where do you think you're going?
Want to give the flower a drink?
Here. Give Daddy the flower. I'll give it a drink.
Look, Daddy. The petals came off. Paste it.
Yeah, all right. Now I'll paste this together. There, it's as good as new.
Give the flower a drink.
Now, will you do something for me?
What?
Will you try to get some sleep?
What? I'm not
Get some
sleepy.
sleep.
I want to look at my flower.
I know, but if you just go to sleep, then you could dream about it. And it'd be a whole garden, see?
It will?
Uh-huh.
Telephone. I'll get it. Hello? Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. The doctor said she'll be out of bed in time for her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello, Mrs. Welch. This is George Bailey. Say, where are you anyway? What do you mean in your home like that, half naked?
George!
Hey, is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have people like you? Silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on? Oh, God, that's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? Hello? Hang up.
I'll hang her up.
Now, who do you think you are?
Wait a minute. Hello? Hello? Who is this? Oh, Mr. Welch. Okay, that's fine, Mr. Welch. It's what I really think of your wife. George! Will you get out of here and let me handle this? Hello? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welch. Anytime you think you're man enough. Hello? Oh.
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
What do you think I am? A dictionary? Janie, haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You've been playing it over and over again. Now stop it. Stop it.
George, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Mary. Janie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean you go on and practice. Pete, I owe you an apology too. I'm sorry. What did you want to know?
Nothing, Daddy.
What's the matter with everybody? Janie, go on. I told you to play. Now go on, play.
Oh, Daddy. George, why must you torture the children?
Why don't you marry?
Where's Daddy going? Bedford 247, please.
Is Daddy in trouble?
Yes, Pete. Shall I pray for him? Yes, Janie. Pray very hard.
Me too.
You too, Tommy. Hello, Uncle Billy.
So that's it, George. You're short $8,000 in the books, eh?
Please, Mr. Potter, I'll pay any sort of interest. If you still want the building and loan.
You say it was lost? Did you notify the police?
No, sir. I haven't done that yet. Harry's homecoming and all.
Well, why did you come to me? What about your good friend Sam Wainwright?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
What kind of security would I have, George? What collateral?
I have some life insurance, a $15,000 policy.
How much is your equity in it?
$500.
And you want $8,000? Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. What are you but a warped, frustrated young man? Crawling in here on your hands and knees for help. No securities, no stocks, no bonds. You're worth more dead than you are alive. Why don't you go to that riffraff you love so much and ask them for help?
I'll do anything, Mr. Potter. Please. Please help me, my wife and kids.
You know what I'm going to do for you? As a stockholder of the building and loan, I'm calling the state examiner to get a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds, manipulation, malfeasance.
Mr. Potter, please, you can't do this. They can't arrest me.
Go on and run, George. Go on and run. You can't hide in a little town like this. Merry Christmas, George.
And now, more from our sponsors. Are you guilty of careless driving because windshield bug spots dulled your vision?
Yeah, I am guilty.
Well, stop straining to see through a bug-splattered windshield. Duck's Toilet Cake gets those squashed bugs off quickly, easily. Yes, even when the sun has baked them in the glass.
Remember, you need clear vision as well as good brakes to avoid accidents. You'll find Duck's Toilet Cake leaves the glass polished so crystal clear, you'll hardly know it's there.
I feel so much safer after I clean my windshield with Duck's Toilet Cake. It leaves no dangerous oily film to pick up dust and make night driving difficult.
Duck's Toilet Cake, the soap of 100 uses.
You better watch out. You better watch slow. I'm telling you so. Duck's Toilet Cake is cleaning up that road. It washes up cars. It washes up bars. And out in LA, it washes up stars. Duck's Toilet Cake is cleaning up that road. It's found in every bathroom, from free to shine to see. By our dear president, and it's used by you and me. You better wash high, you better wash low. Behind the ears too, I'm telling you so. Duck's Toilet Cake is cleaning up
Buy a cake of Duck's Toilet Soap today. Keep it in your car. And now we return to Here's the Wonderful Life.
Merry Christmas! Glad you all come.
How about some of that good spaghetti?
Oh, we got everything here.
Hey, where's George, sir? Where?
After running out of Potter's office, George ended up at Martini's bar. He's had a couple of drinks, Clarence. He's just sitting there.
What's he saying? And who's he?
God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
Are you all right, George? You want somebody to take you home?
Yeah, why you drink so much, my friend? You don't feel good. Please, go home, Mr. Bailey.
Bailey? You say Bailey?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
Bailey?
This gentleman here is Mr. Bailey, Mr. George Bailey.
Oh, George Bailey, huh? And the next time you talk to my wife like that, you'll get worse. It isn't enough she's slaves teaching your stupid kids how to read and write. You got to ball her out?
You get out of here, Mr. Welch. You are hitting my best friend. You get out.
All right.
Get out. Mr. Bailey, are you okay, my friend?
Who was that?
Oh, Mr. Welch. But don't worry. Here, no come here no more. I'll get something for your face, though. It's bleeding.
I'm all right.
Please, please, don't go away, Mr. Bailey. Please don't go.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No.
George is headed to the bridge now, Clarence. Can you see him?
Yes, it looks like he's going to jump.
It's time, Clarence.
Excuse me, you there? Have you got the time?
My watch is dead.
Oh, thanks just the same. Ah, help! Help! I can't swim!
Hold on, mister. I'm coming.
What in Sam Hill are you two doing? The storm's not fit for man or beast. Now get out of the water. All right. Hey, you two all right? Do you need a doctor?
No, I'm all right.
Oh, I'm fine. This underwear, I didn't have time to get anything stylish. My wife gave me this on my last birthday. I passed away in it.
Passed away?
Oh, and I see Tom Sawyer's drying out a bit too.
Who?
Oh, my book. I left in such a hurry that I brought Tom Sawyer with me. You should read the new book Mark Twain is writing.
How did you happen to fall in?
Oh, I jumped in. I jumped in to save you.
You jumped in to save me.
I did, didn't I? You didn't go through with it, did you?
Go through with what?
Oh, suicide, of course.
Well, it's against the law to commit suicide around here. Don't you know that?
Well, it's against the law where I come from, too.
Well, where do you come from?
Heaven.
Huh?
No, I had to act quickly. That's why I jumped in. I knew if I were drowning, you would try to save me. And you see, it did. And that's how I saved you.
Oh, that's very funny.
Oh, George, your lip's bleeding.
Yeah, I got a bust in the jaw in answer to a prayer a little bit ago.
No, George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
Now, how do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
What are you, some kind of mind reader or something?
No.
Well, who are you then?
I'm Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody, AS2. What's the AS2?
Oh, Angel second class.
Hey, you know what? I'm getting out of here. Y'all might not need a doctor, but I do.
Cheerio, my good man.
Hey, look here. Why did you want to save me?
Oh, because I'm your guardian angel.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised.
Well, it's ridiculous of you to think of killing yourself for money. $8,000.
Yeah, just things like that. Now, how did you know that?
Oh, I told you, I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look about like the kind of angel I'd get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class.
Oh, I see.
But you can help me earn them, George, by letting me help you.
You don't happen to have $8,000 on you, do you, bub?
Oh, no. We don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Well, comes in pretty handy down here.
Oh, ta.
Yeah, I found that out a little late. I'm worth more dead than alive.
Now look, you mustn't say things like that. I won't get my wings with that attitude. You just don't know all that you've done. If it hadn't been for you...
Yeah, if it hadn't been for me, everybody'd be a lot better off. My wife, and my kids, and my friends.
Oh, this isn't going to be easy.
They'd all be better off if I'd never been born.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
George, that's wonderful.
Wonderful?
The idea you just gave me. Well, you've got your wish. You've never been born.
Never been born?
Exactly. No more worries. No $8,000 to get. Nothing. You simply don't exist.
Hey, oh, wait a minute. Say something else in this ear. That ear of mine. Say something else.
You don't have a bad ear anymore, George. Don't you see? You're not the George Bailey you think you are. You're, well, you're nobody.
Well, that's the doggonedest thing.
And your lips stop bleeding too, George.
Huh. What do you know about that? What happened? I need a drink. That's what I need. What about you, Angel? Do you want a drink?
Well, I don't know about that.
Come on. We'll go as soon as our clothes are dry.
Oh, our clothes are dry.
Hey, so they are. That's funny. That stove's hotter than I thought. Well, look, let's get dressed and we'll stroll over to Martini's and then... Oh, wait. Excuse me. I'll stroll. You fly.
I haven't got my wings.
You haven't got your wings. Yeah, that's right. A couple of drinks and we'll both fly.
Give me a bourbon.
Oh, there's a place to sit down. Sit down. Hello, Nick. Clarence, welcome to the best bar in Bedford Falls.
Bedford Falls? You mean Pottersville?
Pottersville? Hey, where's Martini?
Look, I'm the boss. You want a drink or don't you?
Okay, all right. Double bourbon, quick, huh?
Okay. What's yours, bub?
Well, I actually was just thinking about a mulled wine.
Huh?
Well, heavy on the cinnamon, light on the cloves, and off with you, my lad. Make it lively now.
Hey, look, mister. We serve hard drinks here for men who want to get drunk fast. We don't need any characters around to give the joint atmosphere.
Now, come on here. Just give him the same as I ordered. He's okay.
Yeah, whatever. 2 double bourbon.
What about this place? It's all changed.
Well, all of Bedford Falls has changed. You're having your wish, George. You've never been born. Oh, there'll be lots of things you've never seen before. Hey, oh good. Somebody just made it.
Made what?
Every time you hear a bell rings, it means an angel just got his wings.
What'd you say?
Look, Clarence, I don't think you better talk about angels around here.
Don't they believe in angels?
Well, yeah, they believe in them, but you know, it's just
Well, then why should people be surprised when they see one?
Huh?
Don't mind him, Nick. He just never grew up. How old are you anyway, Clarence?
293 in May.
Well, that does it. Out you two pixies go. Through the door, out the window. Go on, get.
Where's Martini? Will you tell him?
Stop asking about Martini. He ain't here. Well. Look who crawled out from whatever hole he's been hiding in.
Hey, it's Mr. Gower.
Hey, you, Rummy. Didn't I tell you to never come panhandling around here?
George, look.
Mr. Gower, this is George Bailey. Don't you know me?
Will you buy me a drink, mister? Just one more drink.
Binky, throw the Rummy out.
You've got it.
Oh, no, please. No.
Nick, isn't that Mr. Gower, the druggist?
That rumhead spent 20 years in jail for poisoning some kid. If you know him, you must be a jailbird yourself. Binky, here's 2 more. Get him out of here.
You've got it, Voss. They're out.
You're listening to It's a Wonderful Life on 1340 WJOL Joliet, live from the Rialto Square Theater. We'll be back after these commercial messages.
Hello? Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm sorry, guys. I am actually stuck, but I really wanted to talk to you guys, so thanks for being patient. I'm back now and all is good. Hey, listen, when you're driving down Chicago on a summer night, what's the most exciting thing you can see when you take a left? That Rialto sign lit up, that marquee lit up, because we know a show is getting ready to happen. And all year long, as I've driven through downtown, I've always noticed, man, the sign's not lit up. Guys, I want to thank you for your donations, and they have been awesome. Tim and Mary Lou, Marie, American Heritage Garage, Mike and Carol, Christine, all have given over $100. Some of them have given $242, like we challenged you. That's awesome. Christine gave $242. Lastly, Kevin gave $100. Most importantly, Sarah, on behalf of Larry Walsh's grandchildren, gave $50, and that is awesome, and we thank her. Every single dollar helps. But guys, I promise you, as tough as this year has been, as challenging as it's been, the Rialto will be back in 2021. It's going to be better than ever. There's going to be more shows because you guys have kept it alive. The signs will be back on. The shows will be back on. And it's because of people in Joliet with their big hearts and their big wallets are making donations and making a difference. This is your last chance. Please hit the scroll, hit the social media, right? Scrolls right here. Please, please, please. The last scene of the show is when a whole town comes together and gives a little bit to help George. Well, you know what? Tonight, the Rialto is George. They're hurting and need a little help as well. No shows all year. The marquee is back on. You know why? Because better times are ahead in 2021. Thank you to each of you for your generosity. Keep those gifts coming in. This is my last call for the night. So please donate, donate, donate. Hit up the link. We need your help. For the last time tonight, it's my pleasure to introduce you to, I believe this time, a reindeer.
Hi there, Darcy Buick GMC. I am reaching out on behalf of me and my 7 teammates. We work up in the North Pole pulling a pretty famous sleigh. And as much as we love our gig, we work as much in one night as most do in the whole year. What I am saying is we're exhausted. We got to get our friend in red a ride, a Yulcon, a Charrera, whatever, as long as it isn't a GMC reindeer. We know you're the place to go, and we know that our little toy-making friends and Lady Claus are in agreement. I'm filling out the credit app for Chris Kringle right now on DarcyBuickGMC.com. Tell your finance guy it's not spam. Yours truly, a reindeer who needs some rest. P.S. We like whole carrots, not the baby ones.
And now, to the dramatic conclusion of 1340 WJOL, It's a Wonderful Life.
Hey, George, here, let me help you up. The snow is quite cold.
What's wrong with Mr. Gower?
Mr. Gower doesn't know you, George. You see, George, you weren't there to stop Gower from putting that poison into the prescription.
What do you mean I wasn't there? What is this? What are you, a hypnotist? Why am I seeing all these strange things?
Don't you understand? It's because you were never born.
Then if I wasn't born, who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name is George Bailey.
There is no George Bailey. You have no papers, no cards, no driver's license, no 4F card, and no insurance policy.
Zuzu's petals.
What?
Zuzu's petals. My little girl, some petals fell off her flower. I told her I'd fix it and put them in my pocket, but they're gone now too. Everything's gone.
George, you've been given a great gift. The chance to see what the world would be like if you had never been born.
You're crazy. You're crazy as a bedbug, and you're driving me crazy too. Now look, I'm going home to my wife and family. Do you understand that? And I'm going home alone.
You know the drill. Hands behind your back, sister.
Keep your hands off of me. Why don't you bust somebody else for a change?
Hey, officer, where did the building and loan move to?
The building and what?
The Bailey Building and Loan. It was up there.
They went out of business years ago. Now all that's left is this burlesque house.
Hey, not so fast, copper. I know Potter.
Hey, Violet. Hey, listen, that's Violet Bick.
Oh, I know. Believe me, do I know.
I know that girl.
Who doesn't? Now get out of the way.
Hey, taxi! Ernie, hey, Ernie. Ernie, take me home. I'm going off my nut. Come on, Ernie. I need a lift. Can you get me home, Ernie? I gotta get home.
Where are you going to?
Now, doggone it, Ernie. You know, don't start pulling that stuff. You know where I live. 320 Sycamore. Now hurry up. $320. Come on. Hurry up. Zuzu's sick.
Oh, all right.
Now, look here, Arnie. Straighten me out here, all right? I've got some bad liquor or something. Listen to me. Now, you're Ernie Bishop, and you live in Bailey Park with your wife and kid. That's right, isn't it?
You seen my wife?
Seen your wife? I've been to your house 100 times.
Look, bud, what's the idea? I live in a shack in Potter's Field, and my wife ran away 3 years ago and took the kid, and I ain't never seen you before in my life.
Okay, just step on it. Just get me home.
Is this the place?
Of course it's the place.
Well, this house ain't been lived in for 20 years.
Mary, I'm home. Pete, Tommy, Janie, Zuzu, where are you?
They're not here, George. You have no children.
Where are they, Clarence? What have you done with them?
All right, hey, put your hands up.
What is this?
Hey, no fast moves coming out here, both of you.
Oh, Bert. Oh, thank heavens you're here, Bert. What's happened to this house? Where's Mary? Where's my wife?
Watch him, Bert. Watch him, Bert.
All right, come on. I'm taking you both down to the station. Let's go.
Bert, now listen to me. It's that fella there. He says he's an angel. He's tried to hypnotize me.
Hey, don't make me use my nightstick.
Bert, I hate to do this to you, but...
Oh, run, George, run.
Ma Bailey's boarding house? Mother? Mother, this is George. I thought sure you'd remember me. Mother, oh, please try to understand. Something's happened to me. I don't know what it is, but I need a place to stay. Please let me stay here.
I don't take in strangers.
I'm not a stranger. I know everybody you know. Your brother-in-law, Uncle Billy.
You know him?
Well, sure I do.
When'd you see him last?
Today, over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the insane asylum ever since he lost his business. If you ask me, that's where you belong.
You belong.
I'm here again, George.
My mother. My own mother didn't even know me.
Strange, isn't it? One man's life touches so many others. And when he's not around, he leaves a pretty big hole, doesn't he?
Look, you I've heard of things like this before. You've got me under some kind of a spell. Well, I'm going to get out of it. I have to. I talked to Billy this afternoon. How can he be in an asylum? I've got to snap out of this. Now let me think a minute. But Bailey Park.
There is no Bailey Park, George, if you weren't here to build it.
We'll see.
And this is Bailey Park? People live here. Pretty grim.
This is where Bailey Park supposed to be. What's this gravestone doing here? And why is the name Bailey on it?
Well, it wouldn't be yours.
My father's name is on it. But what's this other name? Why is my brother Harry's name here?
Your brother broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
Well, that's a lie. Harry Bailey went to war. He got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He saved the lives of every man on that transport.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save him because you weren't there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it away?
What do I do now, Clarence? What do I do now?
It's your life, George.
What happened to Mary, Clarence?
Mary?
My wife, Mary. What happened to her if I was never born?
I'm not supposed to tell you, George.
I don't know how you know the things you do, but please, if you know where she is, just let me see her. That's all I need to make a decision.
Very well, George, but you're not going to like it.
Where is she, Clarence?
She's an old maid, George.
Where is she?
She's just about to close up the library. There must be an easier way to earn my wings, Joseph.
Is the library closed?
It's Christmas Eve. We cannot stay open all night.
Can I ask you something?
I should really be getting home.
What is there to go home to?
That is none of your business, sir. The library is closed. Maybe you should try back on the 26th.
Mary, I'm sorry.
How do you know my name?
All I need is a couple of minutes.
I told you, the library is closed.
Please, just 2 minutes. That's all I need. I'll do anything.
You sound desperate. I'll help if I can. What is it?
Isn't this town Bedford Falls?
It used to be. But that was some time ago. I wasn't very old when Potter was elected and took the town along with the name for himself.
So you do know a place called Bedford Falls?
I've seen pictures. It looked like a very nice place. Things have changed, but that's with the times. I have to go.
Mary Hatch, you live on Reed Street, a white Victorian. Your bedroom is at the top of the stairs. You turn to the left, you have an older brother, Marty, and you live with your mother, Edwina.
How do you know all of this? What are you, some crazy man? Stop it, I'm leaving.
Don't you know me, Mary? Just don't touch you.
Get your hands off of me. I'll call a cop.
The house you wished for. Don't you remember?
I told you I don't know you. Let me go. Officer.
Don't you know me? You must. Mary, it's me, George. Don't you know me?
Let me go.
Mary, please. Oh, don't do this to me, Mary, please. Mary, help me, please. Where are our kids?
What?
I need you, Mary. Help me, Mary.
Get away from me. Help! Help! Please!
Mary, it's George. Please, Mary. You're my wife.
Ah!
Clarence! Clarence! Clarence, where are you? Help me, Clarence. Get me back. I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and kids. Help me, Clarence, please. Please. I want to live again. Please. God. I want to live again.
George. George, is that you, George?
Now you get out of here, Bert. Get out of here. You come any closer and I'll hit you again.
What in Sam Hill are you yelling for, George?
Come on, George, Bert, do you know me?
No, you. I've been looking all over town for you.
Hey, Bert, I'm alive again, Bert.
You sure you're all right? And hey, your mouth's bleeding.
Well, it is? Oh, hey, well, my mouth's bleeding, Bert. What do you know? Look at all the blood coming out of there. Oh, would you? Zuzu's petals. Zuzu's petals, there they are. Oh, what do you know about that? Merry Christmas, Bert.
Well, Merry Christmas, George. Should hop in the car. Take you home.
Oh, you will, Bert? Will you do that? And will you turn the sirens wide open? Merry Christmas, Bedford boys! Hey, Merry Christmas to a wonderful building and loan! Oh, Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter! Yippee! Mary, I'm home. Oh, have you seen my wife? Hey, what is this? These people, these reporters. Hey, Merry Christmas, reporters.
Mr. Bailey, there's a deficit.
I know, $8,000, I bet, huh?
George, I got a little paper here for you.
I bet it's a warrant for my arrest. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, Merry Christmas. Hey, where's Mary? You know what? Look at this wonderful old drafty house. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, where's Mary?
Merry Christmas, Daddy. Merry Christmas,
Daddy.
Daddy. Janie, Tommy. Oh, I could eat you up. Where's your mother?
She went looking for you with Uncle Billy. Daddy!
Zuzu, my little ginger snap. How do you feel?
Fine, Daddy. Not a smidge of a temperature.
Not a smidge. Oh, hallelujah.
George! Oh, darling!
It's Mommy! Mommy's home!
Oh, Mary!
George, where have you been? Oh, George!
Mary, let me touch you. Oh, are you real?
Oh, George!
Oh,
George!
You have no idea what's happened to me.
You have no idea what's happened. Oh, George, come on, quick. They're on their way.
Who's on their way? The police department? The FBI? The National Guard? I'm alive again, Mary. Listen, I'm alive again.
All right, come on in here now. Now, you stand right over here by the tree. Right in here now. No, don't move. Don't move.
All right. What is it, Mary?
Wait. I can hear them now, George. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Come in, Uncle Billy. Everyone, in here.
Wow. What is it, Mary?
Isn't it wonderful? Mary did it, George. She really did it. She told a few people that you were in trouble. They scattered all around town collecting money. They didn't even ask questions. They just said, if George is in trouble, you can count on me. You never saw anything like it, George.
What's this, George? Another run on the bank? Here you go. Merry Christmas.
The line forms to the right. Mr. Gower, Merry Christmas. Mr. Martini, step right up now.
Oh, and Georgia Bailey, I have broken the jukebox for you as well.
Oh, Mr. Gower.
I made the rounds on my charge accounts.
Oh, Violet Bick.
I'm not going to go, George. I changed my mind.
Here you go, George. I wouldn't have a roof over my head if it wasn't for you. $242.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, Charlie.
Matilda, I'm saving this money for divorce if I ever get a husband.
Merry Christmas, George.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Mom. Oh.
Just a minute. Quiet, everybody. Quiet. A telegram from London.
Oh, London.
Mr. Gower Cables, you need cash. Stop. My office instructed to advance you up to $25,000. Stop. Hee-haw! And Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
No.
Hello, George. How are you?
Harry! Harry!
Mary!
Harry!
It was so good to see you. I'm here just a little bit too late. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. How did Bert get you here so fast? How did you get here? Did you fly?
Mary, I got him here from the airport as quickly as I could. This fool flew all the way here in a blizzard.
Harry, what about your banquet in Washington?
Oh, I left that. It's right in the middle of it. As soon as I got Mary's telegram, I was out of there.
How about some wine?
That's a great idea. How about a toast to my big brother George, the richest man in town?
There's still time to donate. Hit the button and donate. You guys are doing great.
Do it for
There's still time
Larry.
to donate.
Do it for Larry.
Yeah.
What's this from, George?
Tom Sawyer.
Look, there's an inscription.
Yeah, George, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings. Love, Clarence.
What is that?
It's a Christmas present. Very dear friend of mine.
Look.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
That's right. That's right, Zuzu. Attaboy, Larry. Attaboy.
This has been 1340 WJOL Joliet's presentation. It's a Wonderful Life. Brought to you this and every week by Dremel Hair Tonic and Duck's Toilet Cake. Please listen to a program of popular holiday music. This is Freddie Fillmore signing off for 1340 WJOL and Joliet, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a very good night.
You guys are
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. Happy holiday.
Thanks.
Donate for the Rialto.
Click below. Click below. Click below.
Oh my gosh, the noise!
Thank you so much for watching year after year. That's for sure.
They are the best! They are the best! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Click below.
Donate! This one's for Larry! This one's for Larry!
Love you, Larry.
Have a good night, everyone. Donate.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for watching. Donate below, please.